And do you have any upcoming trips? Do you go to any of the universities and do speaking engagements and
I
show?
mostly do things online since I'm in
Okay.
Costa Rica. But yeah, I do speaking engagements as well. And one thing that I'm really interested in, and I started to make some connections for it in the United States, but now that I'm in Costa Rica again, I have to start figuring out how to do that. I'm really interested in doing this in a corporate environment because I feel like it would be extremely valuable in an
Oh
HR setting
yeah.
as a tool for people in their work environment. And so I haven't exactly figured out how to make those connections from Costa Rica, but something that I really want to do because I think that it's incredibly valuable and people would, I think, do better in their work environment and it would be more productive and it would benefit both the companies and the employees to have this
Oh,
kind of thing.
absolutely, 100%.
Well,
Yeah.
it would because, a while back, like a number of larger corporations started to hire business psychologists because they saw, especially Wall Street. You would be great on Wall Street. Oh my God, I'd love to see those paintings. I mean, they just, they just the stress, even like air traffic controls. I was talking to somebody yesterday before I was flying. Air traffic controllers. I couldn't even begin to even imagine the type of stress that somebody like that would be under. So, that's so extreme. That's really extreme. So, that would be a great thing for you. I think that would be a wonderful thing to go into the corporate world and help a lot of people. And maybe, for some people, it will be
Life changing.
like it would be very
Just
life changing.
regardless of
Yes.
the company or the
Yeah.
situation, it would change your life. Period.
Yes,
Yes.
definitely.
Absolutely. I agree. And I think that the communication from the company that they value the whole employee by bringing in
Mhm.
something
Yeah,
too, that shows that they care about them
as a person.
yeah, yeah. So I don't know who those
I think
are,
maybe Elon Musk should be your first telephone call.
but
He's funny.
Yeah, that's an absolute home run right
Yeah,
there.
really. No, I
yes.
really think that what you're doing is amazing. It's
Thank
absolutely amazing. And my I'm not an artist by any means, but when I do sit down and doodle, it's always eyes. I always draw eyes.
Interesting.
So I don't know if that means I'm looking out into the world or my focus is always looking at things. I don't know what it psychologically, I can think of a lot of different things, but I'm more of a stick figure type of person.
And I really I don't have any clients that are artists. It's not for artists, and I think that's
No,
something
I
I will
know.
with people, and they'll say, well, I can't do that because I'm not an artist. And I'll say, it's really the process, and that when you sort of detach from the outcome and invest yourself in your emotions as you're going through, and it's really people I'm surprised. I've had like one or two people where it took several times before it clicked for them and it worked for them, but for most people it's really like it's like you're hungry to do this. You're hungry
Yeah.
to explore inside and to express it and to get certain things out and to even I use it for like goals and manifesting and all of that stuff too, because the visual of all of those things and kind of connecting your emotional life with the where it is you want to go visually is very powerful. And so it's really not just to heal, it can also be used for forward movement in your life as well.
Mhm.
Well, even like some like very famous artists, when they would first, start painting or they were discovered or whatever, people would say, "Oh, that their work is so macabre," or "That's really scary," or and probably a lot of what they were feeling inside came out in their
Yes,
art,
absolutely.
and well, lucky them to be discovered and for people to think that they were these.
Hey, art is subjective.
Well, it
Art is
really,
subjective, but I would, people, you're helping people along a
Right.
journey, and I'm sure there's probably surprised sometimes at what they can do.
Yes,
Instead of
yes.
saying,
Yes.
I can't draw, I can't do this, until they do it and they go, wait a minute, I can't
Yeah,
do this. I just never tried, or I just assumed I couldn't do it.
yes.
No,
And
and they
Oh,
probably recognize, after a while, they probably recognize what it is that they're putting out there.
yeah, and I met with a client last night, and I've been working with her for a year, and she said, I never believed that this could happen. I lived a life of darkness with a few bits of light,
Mhm.
and now I look at my life and it's light with just a few shadows. And if you had told me that this could happen, because she had been depressed for like 40 years, I
Oh,
would never.
wow.
I would never have believed that this could happen. And when we met to see if we could work together, she said, I don't think this can work for me. And I said, I am sure that it will work for you. And it was like, that moment where she trusted me and gave me a chance. And then now it was very moving to me because she was so taken aback by like the drastic change. And I said, this is really the beginning. This is really your baseline. This is not where you're going. Now you're here, we can start looking at where are you going, and
Probably
how.
just she had fear,
Yeah, yeah.
just
A
afraid.
lot of fear, yes.
And she didn't know how to access the pieces that were keeping her in the darkness, and that's really what we did together in the work, was to access those pieces and unearth them, bring them out, release them, and working on the habits and all of that at the same time. And so it's, for me, this was magic in my life, but I
Mhm.
when
Mhm.
other people's lives, it's so incredibly humbling and rewarding to be able to like see these kinds of transformations in people's lives, and to know that this process can help them to do that work, because it's not me, I don't do, it's what they do, but
Mhm.
it's the allows them to do the.
Helping them access it.
Yes,
So
yes.
when you get a person that comes to a point where they know that, they've gone through this process, they're doing this work, now they're understanding, and they're looking at what these fears or horrors or trauma were in their life. Now,
Mhm.
from that point on, it's maintaining. Are
Well,
you helping them to move forward and maintain that health?
it really depends on the client, because some people, like when they get to that place where they feel free and they feel light and they feel good, then they're done with the work, right? And I have some clients that stay in my group because they like the connection with the other ladies, but
Okay.
they individual. And then for this client that I was just talking about, for her, she has other things. She's not happy with her career right now. She's not happy. She's not in a relationship, but she wants to be in one. And so we
Okay.
couldn't do any of those things until we got to where the place that she is with herself
I
now.
see. Okay.
Oh, so it really depends on the person and what their goals are.
Okay. Well,
I think you're
that's
going to have
interesting.
also too. You're going to slowly, surely, without even realizing it, build a mini Kelly army of enlightened women who are out there helping other people, kind of
Yeah.
paying it forward. In essence, and I don't think that you're just doing what you love to do, but I don't think you realize the impact. How far it travels
Really.
Yeah.
sometimes.
And how much help you're giving to other people. And just by doing podcasts and going out there, and there's so many people that need help, and they pick up a podcast one day and look at it and say, oh my God, I've got to get in touch with this person, because I really believe that I could use her help in whatever I'm dealing with.
Yeah, yeah. And that's, I think, what you guys are doing, to bring all these new people and ideas and ways of
Mhm.
looking out to people, and sharing that. That's
Oh,
amazing.
definitely, definitely. I think
It's our therapy in our own way.
Yeah.
it is. Yes, it is. I love meeting new people, learning new things, understanding the world from different viewpoints, and yes, it is. It works both ways. We love bringing people out there as much as they love to be on to explain what they do, no matter what type of a position they have, what their career is in life. I mean, we could have a silly podcast, a crazy podcast, an interesting podcast, an educational podcast. It depends on the
Yep.
person. Your work is exceptional, and I just love what you're doing. I love it. And
Thank you.
I have a lot of friends that better watch this.
I know. It's going to be a highly recommended episode for a lot of people.
Exactly.
So do
Exactly.
you miss old LA?
No, we were just there
No.
there
I don't
visiting my
blame her.
and no. Oh, LA's a desert. So, there's really no greenery that isn't like maintained there. And so like I really, well, that's something else I learned about myself was I need nature. I need to be immersed in nature on a regular basis to really best. And being in Los Angeles for 3 weeks, I could feel the impact of the concrete, and yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I
So
mean,
that
in regards to nature, you're basically at ground zero. I mean,
right,
it has to be
right.
honestly one of the most beautiful, picturesque places on the planet. In my
It is.
opinion.
And there's more.
I watch Wheel of Fortune, and somebody wins a trip to Costa Rica, and I'm like, it should be me. It should be me. One of these days, maybe I'll get there.
Kelly, what's the primary language down there?
Spanish.
Spanish. Okay.
Okay.
My kids had become mostly bilingual when we were here before, and then they started to lose it in the States, and now they've back, and they go to a bilingual school. So yeah, it's Spanish.
That's fantastic.
Okay. All right. Well, we were going to do 2 separate episodes, but we put everything into one, so which is fine, and
Yep.
that's not a problem. And we loved having you on the show. I mean, this to me has been very this is a great way to start the day. This is like so uplifting and
Now,
so
how do we do this every
wonderful.
day, Kelly? Do we teach you every morning in our lives? Just to kick it off and feel good. Well, I'll get some paper. I'll do. It's funny. I went to college. I started off in college for art, and I thought I was pretty good until I watched the kids next to me, and I went, "Ooh, what am I doing here?"
But now you can do a different type of art that
Yes.
Kelly has, given us a lot of information on. And
Yes.
I don't know if anybody wants to see what I would want to do with it, but you know what? It would be good for me. I write things,
Yeah. Yeah.
I do a lot of writing when
There's
things bother me.
there's an exercise that I do. It's kind of like a beginning exercise with people that is really kind of shows the power of the work, and it can be done when you're upset. It's called releasing negative feelings, and it's not in place of your feelings, because when you don't express yourself, then you shove them down, and that leads
Exactly.
But what brain research shows is that feelings are meant to last about 90 seconds. And I don't know about you, but I don't think I've ever had a feeling that was 90 seconds in my entire life. Is we send more thoughts, which generate more feelings, and so if we're upset, we'll keep thinking about it and keep upsetting ourselves over and over and over again.
Right.
And
Right.
after you've expressed your feeling, if you take like a blank sheet of paper you get from your printer, and on one side write out your feelings, just express everything that you're. A lot of times people will be like, well, I don't know how to journal. And I'm like, there's no wrong way. Some people do words, fragments. Sometimes when I'm mad, I'll just write curse words down the whole paper.
Oh, yeah.
Expression of my
That's
feelings.
how you're feeling that day.
Write all your feelings on one side, then you get some crayons or markers or colored pencils, whatever you have, flip the paper over, and then just close your eyes and do some deep breathing. And what I like to help people to do is to first, instead of trying to make those feelings go away, to actually breathe into the feelings and imagine them getting bigger and bigger. And then to try to see those feelings as colors first, see the colors in front of them, and then to see them as shapes, and breathe in and breathe it out onto, as if there were a canvas in front of you, to breathe out those feelings in shapes and colors, and keep breathing them out until you feel like they are released from you. And then you open your eyes and immediately draw them on the other side from your words. And again, feeling as though that feeling is coming out of your body and down your arm and into the pen and into the paper. And then once you draw those shapes and colors that came to you, then you rip the paper up and just keep ripping it until you feel like the last of the feeling is gone.
So it's out. It's out of there.
And it's destroyed. And then what I like to do is I like to throw the papers, because it makes me feel like a big release. But some people
You're celebrating.
yeah, but for some people that feels like a mess, so that doesn't feel good to them, because then they have to clean it up. So you can also like crumple up the part and then throw them away like really hard. But that, to me, that exercise, and I have it on a video. I can send it to you if you want to share it with the podcast, a guided version of it.
Oh, sure.
That video, I mean, that exercise I do all the time, and I do it with my kids, and it just like allows you to have your feeling and then get rid of it and keep moving with your day and not get stuck in a loop of your thoughts creating more feelings and your thoughts creating.
Well, definitely, yes, definitely send the video. That would be wonderful. I'd love that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't tell my wife.
Okay. Well, Kelly, it's been a pleasure. It's been an absolute pleasure to meet you, to speak with you, to understand what you're doing and the help that you're giving a lot of people. And I'm so happy that you were able to be on the show with us today, because it really meant a lot to us. And we wish you well with your work, and go out there in the corporate world, because they certainly do need it. That's for darn sure. Yes. So I'd like to thank everybody for being with us today. And don't forget, Funny Minds, go on funnyminds.com and help us with our two organizations that we really are very, very into, and that's St. Jude's Children's Hospital and breast cancer. And you'll see a little donate button there that you can donate money to those two foundations. And we have a store with crazy little things. And you know, if there's anything you like, or a person you'd like to see, or something that you don't like, there's a form there. You can fill it out, and our emails are on there. You can get in touch with us whenever you'd like, and we'd be glad to accommodate you in whatever way that we can. So we're going to say goodbye, Kelly. And
Bye.
Thank you again.
Kelly, you're a rock star.
And you are.
Thank you so much.
And thank you so much. And bye, everybody. We'll see you next time. Bye.